The search is on for a new Health and Human Services Secretary. Falling breast cancer death rates saved more than 300,000 lives, and the FDA moves to broaden access to complex generic drugs. Welcome to This Week in Managed Care. I'm Laura Jost. Dr. Tom Price resigned as HHS Secretary last Friday after more than a week of news stories about his preference for private charter flights. But reports say President Donald Trump was already frustrated with Price for failing to achieve a repeal of the Affordable Care Act, and he may look for someone who can reach a deal when he picks a replacement. The leading candidates to replace Price are FDA Commissioner Dr. Scott Gottlieb, CMS Administrator Seema Verma, and Veterans Affairs Secretary David Shulkin. All have been through confirmation, although Shulkin has recently received criticism over his own travel. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and a new report from the American Cancer Society finds that death rates over the past generation have declined 39%. Improvements in detection and treatment saved 322,000 lives between 1989 and 2015, the report found. However, disparities between Black and white women are stark. Death rates among Black women are 42% higher. Authors of the report found a striking divergence in long-term breast cancer mortality trends between Black and white women emerged in the early 1980s and continued to widen over the last several decades. But recent data suggests that the racial disparity may be stabilizing. For more, visit ajmc.com. Cancer care is changing, and so is the nature of partnerships, according to Kim Woofter of the Advanced Centers for Cancer Care, who spoke recently with AJMC about the need for data and practices.
I think oncology practices today really need to set up partnerships with data analytics firms, which is a little bit different than it was years ago. Years ago, you set up partnerships with hospitals or other practices or your neighboring primary care. Data analytics now gives you the tool to work with a new set of partners, basically the employer. And I think that's what we see in our market the most, is the data analytics we have in relation to cost of care, site of service, and how better to do care management has led employers to do some direct contracting, to do some channeling of their employees, and then has helped to encompass the team a little bit differently.
This week, FDA announced a pair of strategies to give patients access to less expensive novel drugs. Both were announced in blog posts by Commissioner Dr. Scott Gottlieb, who has continued his agenda to promote manufacturing of generic drugs to lower drug costs. The two new policies will offer new guidance and boost communication for companies filing abbreviated new drug applications, which are needed for complex generic drugs, and create new rules to make it easier for patients to get investigational drugs through the FDA's Expanded Access Program. Finally, competition in the mealtime insulin market heated up this week after FDA approved one new treatment and updated the label for another. On Friday, Novo Nordisk won approval for Fiasp, a faster-acting insulin that contains vitamin B3, which helps the body absorb it more quickly, said Chief Medical Officer Dr. Todd Hobbs. Due to its fast onset and appearance in the bloodstream, Fiasp can be dosed at the beginning of a mealtime or within 20 minutes after the start of a meal. Then on Monday came word that FDA had updated the label for Afrezza, the inhaled insulin from MannKind, which has been popular with users but struggled to win favorable formulary placement. The new label features a table outlining how the drug enters and exits the body quickly, which CEO Michael Castagna said will make it easier for MannKind to explain its advantages to doctors and patients. We have removed the language that restricted our promotional activity. For more, visit ajmc.com. For all of us at the Managed Markets News Network, I'm Laura Jost. Thanks for joining us.